Hello everyone! How we doing today? I hope that everyone is doing well on this fine Sunday afternoon. Who do we got? We got Keo, we got Brian, Boss Buster, Mikey Mike, Snakes and Escalators. Good to see y'all. It's snowing there? Ooh. Man, snow is so like... I love it, except for when it personally inconveniences me. It's like rain in that way. I hate rain when I'm outside, but I love it when I'm indoors. It is Morgan time. I love it when Morgan says it's Morgan time and Morgan's all over the place. But yes, we are back with some more of the devil. I am very excited for this one. Not sure how long we'll go today, but we're at least gonna start episode 1. For anyone who needs a bit of a recap, last time we did episode 0, where we we cleared an innocent man of the murder of his girlfriend, only to find out that the killer is us. We are Kira. we are the murderer. So we're going to be, I assume, trying to get away with our crimes while also solving some other mystery. Not exactly sure what yet, but that kind of seems to be the overall premise so far. So I am very excited. I think we can just go ahead and get started. Let's move over to gaming. Hold on, chat's a little busted over here. Let me fix that for y'all. Where is it? Where is it? There we go. Kaede could never. Man, at least Kaede, like, had good intentions. Morgan is just like, I do this for shits and giggles. Alright, Alright, let's get that up on the screen for y'all. Doopy-doop. Wins! Hello! Good to see you. Did you know that there's a new season of Precure called Started to... I knew, like, something about Precure because when I was choosing the name, I had to look up, if anyone else had it, but I thought it was different enough that it was okay. No other, like, content creators had the name, so... Alright, there we go. Might be a little bit loud for y'all. Let's put it, like... Put it there for now, and y'all can tell me if you want it louder or quieter. Okay. Well, yeah, we're just gonna go a new episode 1. You can choose to play episode 1 in high roller mode. In high roller mode, you are limited to 1 save slot and you won't be able to reload saves while inside the courtroom. Quick saving and auto saves will be disabled as well, so remember to save regularly. The minimum ante for hands will be increased, and the minimum and maximum penalties for answering incorrectly during trial gameplay will be increased. But the maximum ante will be increased as well, allowing you to earn the largest possible high score for credit. Completing the episode in high roller mode will also unlock an exclusive phone charm that can't be earned any other way. You can turn high roller mode off at any time, but in order to turn it back on, you would have to restart the episode. Ooh, okay. Guys, you're gonna have to let me know. Chat, do we play high roller mode, or do we play standard? This episode contains time-sensitive choices. Oh, fuck that. Okay. That's fine. No, I won't turn it off. I'll have to live and die by my choices in time This episode contains testimony segments. Objectionable words or clauses will become red when you prepare to call on them. This can be disabled. You can adjust either of these features without affecting your high roller status. High roller mode is intended to encourage risk-taking and discourage save scumming. Consider it like if you want to pursue this mystery like a true gambler. Alright. What do people want? I see one vote for... one for standard, one for high roller. This is a very cool idea. I'm very intrigued. People want standard? That's another standard. We'll do a poll. Yeah, that's a smart idea. Because you can always, if I start struggling, I can turn high roller off too. What do the people want? I mean, standard is arguably the smarter choice, but like exclusive charm. Exclusive phone charm. It's very tempting. Alright, it's pretty definitively high roller. Alright. If things go to shit, we can just turn it off. Alright. We're going all in, baby. Welcome to the high roller tables. Enjoy the thrill. No, let's keep tutorials on. Listen, I wanted to thank you for coming over. Figures you'd notice. Anyone could tell something's bothering you. You're the first person to say anything. What happened? The police came to see me. In public? No. They wanted to be considerate of my privacy. Is this the guy who, like... Isn't there, in the prologue, there was a tech guy who was being, like, investigated by the police? I wonder if it's that person. That's a first. They wanted to talk to me about the other week. About my whereabouts. And yours. I told them I didn't know anything. They must have loved that. Funny. What would you have done? In your shoes? Probably cursed them out. Yeah, I could see that. Is there anything you want to ask me? No. Not even for a favor in return? No favors lost between friends, I say. That sounds like a toast. Why not? To friends. I'll raise a glass to that. Someone gonna die here? Glass him! Vandalism detected. I think I'm gonna die in this house. It's a little bit... I think the music's a little loud. Hold on. Incident logged. Recorded at 8:55 a.m. local time. Geopositional data. Encoded. If I could have all citizens in the area... Whip off, coppa! Visuals impaired. Facial recognition compromised. Pinging nearby opt-ins for corroborating evidence. Hey! He's lighting up every phone on the block. We need to go. Now, or what? He'll use his outdoor voice. Or he'll have us pinned down to our dental records before you can say we're Morning, Officer Leo. You look different today. You do something new with your uniform? Good morning to you too, Morgan citizen. To answer your question, no. I have not undergone any recent retrofitting. If you'd like a more detailed record of my maintenance history, you can make a request for... I've got it. Must be the new coat of paint. Blah. You're referring to the act of vandalization that just took place. Only the most recent one. Super Cop over here has a new dent every time I see him. Scars honorably earned in the line of duty, scanning the street for jaywalkers and loiterers. Don't worry, ma'am. A report has been filed and the police are working to resolve the situation. Ooh, pink blood. Civil disobedience at this time of day? What's the world coming to? They're just stragglers, ma'am. There was a period of unrest in the area last night. Unlicensed protesting and demonstrating without a permit. Well, I hope you threw the book at them. The disturbance was handled, but individual incidents of volatility may occur during the next 48 hours as we work to apprehend outside actors. Thanks for the forecast. So, does the bleeding stop on its own? Why do androids even bleed? Like... Yeah, androids don't have blood, ma'am. This is just a leakage of oxidizing fluid. Yeah, I knew it was something like that. My mistake. So you don't need a bandage, I take it? The leakage will dry shortly. With that conversation thoroughly exhausted, I let my mind wander as I wait for the signal to cross. I unfocus my eyes and dull my hearing, sinking beneath the hum of the city street, and fading through the lives bustling around me like so much sea foam. Across the way, a large man with worn hands and an ill-fitting belt turns to a gorilla-like hulk of a machine and cuffs his hands in front of his mouth. Yo, 61! The machine holds its lifting with uncanny precision and turns to him. We're going on break. The robot tilts its head to the side. You can't work the plier without Schwinn up on the roof, so... I don't know, take a load off, will ya? Understood, came the over-enunciated reply. The man, already walking away, tosses a dismissive wave behind him. Yeah, understood. A moment after the man turns the corner, the robot attempts to mimic the hand wave to no one in particular. Goddamn coppers on every street corner. At a bus stop, or what used to be a bus stop, now a charging station, a passionate young man voices his democratic opinion loud enough for the whole street to hear. They declare martial law when I wasn't looking? The small woman beside him, trying to appear even smaller, shifts in her seat. Well, they're just doing their job, so... Bots don't have jobs, except the ones they stole from us. Notice how they don't patrol nearly so heavy in Uptown, even on the worst days? His audience, captive by virtue of sharing the same charging pole as him, shuffles, coughs, and stares even harder at their phones. The woman looks at her knees and pulls at her shirt. You're kind of embarrassing me right now. Tuh. He makes a vague gesture with his hands to indicate he stepped off his soapbox, and the shoulders of everyone around him relax a centimeter. Oh, now that's just... A woman with exhaustion in her eyes at a hologram floating above her chrome-plated palm, while a rounded, smooth-looking android pushes a carriage behind her. Ellen, walk around the block. Get her some air, would you? Apparently, this call can't wait, and it's louder than a garbage disposal out here. Of course, ma'am. I'd be glad to. The android punctuates his sentence with a sound halfway between a whir and a purr, which, judging by the coos and giggles coming from the child, seems to have been well received. Robots, holograms, androids, drones, coppers, if you prefer. Can't so much as sneeze in this city without a dozen different ads offering you a handkerchief. There's a vocal minority that think they're the downfall of civilization, but for everyone else, you're too kind, ma'am. Thank you for your concern. It's hard to hate them when they're so eager to please. Crosswalk's given me the okay. Keep us safe, yeah? Have a good day, Morgan citizen. It's a bright, crisp morning in the city. Lights changing and people moving in click-clacking harmony, all smooth as clockwork. Were I in a worse mood, it would all be a bit much. But I went out last night. Well, so I'm feeling pretty refreshed this morning. As I reach the other side of the street, I pivot lightly and give Automated Dependent Assistant Officer L30 my best impression of a salute. Thank you for your service! And of course, he creaks out a mirrored response. No sense of sarcasm, the poor bastards. But I didn't come all this way downtown to poke fun at the only happily employed class in human history. No, I came down here to make an important purchase. Today, I'm gonna buy a gun. Great. I'd like to buy a gun. Episode 1, An Idle Mind. No staff around? But all the lights are on. Should I have knocked? What's up? Desk personality setting 6, the cool one. Let me know if I can help you with anything. I've probably forgotten more about firearms than what you're programmed to remember. I bet you can. I recently acquired a license to carry concealed. Nice. Are you in law enforcement? Do you shoot for sport? Business or pleasure? Neither. May I ask why you're looking to carry concealed, ma'am? Oh, you know. Assault with a deadly weapon, cruel intent, that kind of thing. Some of my clients live in very rough neighborhoods. Sorry, give me 1 sec, I gotta adjust a setting. There we go. Even in broad daylight, coming down to the lower wards for house visits can be... I see. You're a lawyer. So, I guess you could say I'm in the market for self-defense. We have a wide selection of options for self-defense in a variety of sizes and calibers, with spread and PA fire options available. My bad PA stands for pseudo... Oh, my bad. PA stands for pseudo-automatic. I know. But for concealed, it'd have to at least be small enough to... This would go a lot faster if I just tell the desk what I want. I want the lore, so I guess we're gonna be patient. But walking in here and asking for a very specific gun is nut behavior. I'm not trying to stand out. Some of the ones I test fired at the range left my shoulders sore for days. Do you have anything more discreet? Right. No problem. Electromagnetic pulse models feature minimal kickback with the highest accuracy. One targeted pulse of electricity can disable attackers at medium to short range, non-lethally, and quietly. Sure, they're plenty quiet. But they also have piss-poor range, and sustained fire won't do shit to any modder with insulation less than a few years old. Glorified tasers. Barely suitable as party favors for anxiety-stricken college kids. Well, hopefully not too quiet. I'd want someone to come running to my rescue. Of course. Would you like to take a look at our mag rails? Bullseye. We're proud to offer a number of models that utilize the latest in miniaturized ultra-capacity batteries to generate a Lorentz force which slings a slug fast enough to miss a limb at over 30 meters. And it's safe? Of course, ma'am. My bad. 2-factor safeties with GPS and emergency services sync. It won't go off unless you want it to, and someone will definitely come running. All those convenient safety features make it incredibly easy for the police, or anyone who can dupe their toolset, to lock you out of your own gun with the flip of a switch. You couldn't walk a piece like that down a single uptown street without passing 9 or 10 no-fire zones. They're the very worst, most useless kind of weapon a criminal could buy. Sounds perfect! How do we get started? Why does it feel like every desk I run into has to be such a character? Mercifully, It's tucked itself away while the fabricators get the gun tagged. I've got time to kill, so is there anything worth checking out around the shop? Alright, let's just go around. Hate these kind of screens. Gotta look at them with your nose turned up or they start eye tracking. Next thing you know, they're saying hello on a first name basis. But I've got practice with this sort of thing. I can skim the headlines at least. Why the 12/6 work week gives us more free time than ever. I'm 14 and I tried dating a smart UI. It made me the happiest I've ever been. How term limits are anti-democracy. Woof. Transfusion from warm android saves soldier's life. That's one hell of a headline. If the Animate 16 wasn't selling well before, I'm sure by now it's... Eesh, would it kill you to clean up a little? Guess the desk kindly asking customers not to litter can only get you so far if you're not willing to pay someone to sweep up. Wait, is this trash? This flyer, it's scannable? Stagnancy theory. Really? They get a lot of self-proclaimed philosophers in here? Alright, let's skim this. Dive global trends. Moore's Law used to be the bench. Driven our planet to the whole team. Marching bravely into space. Instead, our brightest minds spent all their time and effort creating the can of climate crisis. And they're protecting the middle class eaten alive by the rich. Vast tech no longer has evolutionary pressures to be as small and powerful as possible. The only cure comes from you taking action. There's another link at the bottom. Probably leading to a collection disc. Or a state honeypot if you want to be paranoid. Yeah, 12/6 is crazy. They better burn this shit before some neat freak idiot picks it up and gets arrested. Okay. Anything else? Just this? Alright, yeah, we got an article. Alright. What you got for me? Labo threatens Tetra with ransomware vulgarity. An internationally wanted terrorist and serial data thief known as Labo seized a cache of virtual Keystone data files belonging to Tetra Metallics. Let's translated, blah blah blah. They made it clear that they will ransom the files at a severe cost. The posts were flagged in quarantine. The manifesto, which we have designed, has remained in circulation. In addition to a sizable monetary ransom, they want a list of demands that span pages. Most prominent, call for de-escalation of all conflicts surrounding rare earth metals around the equator. Sources at Tetra refused to conform or deny that impacted only their billing services, but insisted it could not in good faith resume distribution. Market prices for rare earth metals surged following the hacking attack. As supply halted and demand rose, stalked by memories of catastrophic supply. Spokesperson called to active terror against the free market. Whoa, whoa, looks like you're not logged in. Okay, well... You gonna ask me a question about it? Labo demanded de-escalate. Well, they demanded... They demanded both of these, but I guess de-escalation is the, yeah, more accurate answer. It's not the first time Labo's voiced their displeasure with the decades-old simmer of conflict around the tropics. But unless the rare earth metals powering all our batteries and fueling all our pretty little androids are suddenly made a lot less rare overnight, I doubt the state will stop taking an interest in those regions' politics anytime soon. Alright. Oh, what did I miss? Was there one more thing? There's some kind of news program playing on the screen. Most public places are too scared to put on any channel with content more political than the smiling micro apartment flippers. But this is a gun store after all. Power is always political. Wait, how long has it been? Shouldn't take them that long to get my gun properly bugged. I'm sorry, we've received a breaking news story. We're seeking confirmation and yes, we have it confirmed. Lead programmer at Noble Electronics and famed designer of the Turing solution, dead. Yeah. Dr. David Asher has passed. What? Proprietary Vantage automated department management system, along with the Animate series of androids. Must be some kind of corporate propaganda tactic or... No, they wouldn't risk... Fake news? But why? Perhaps best known for his breakthroughs in the field of machine learning and language. Misinformation, maybe? Trying to authorize many of the developments that allowed for Noble's rapid growth and market dominance. David Asher is dead? Including the popular Desk series of smart UIs. That's very sad. I didn't ask. Sorry, I just... Commands only. Understood. Will you be paying with cash or credit? Debit. Uh-oh. The gun was light. Lighter than I expected. A real gun should always be heavy. Greater than the sum of its parts. That's one of the things I like about them. Their weight. Like they're anchoring the world around them. Like they're a fixed point in time. Like everything else is just relative to them. Either closer or further to the end. I would have liked something heavier during that walk back to my apartment. I would have liked to have something to feel far away from. Didn't realize I was home until my hand was on the door. What is this? What am I doing? What am I doing? Fumbling in my pocket for my lighter. Golden, polished, tastefully ergonomic and fine and expensive. And a good lighter. It was a good gift. I kept the card, didn't I? Here it is. To the only smoker in my life. I know gold's a bit much for your personal style. This is from, like, David Asher or some shit. They don't make a lot of these anymore. Believe it or not, the only other people who share your vice are stuffy old man with bad, expensive taste. Hope you can manage to get some use out of it anyway. Your friend, David. Yep. Called that one. The news might have more information by now. Or not. Looks like the net's full of copy-pasted statements from Noble, auto-edited montages, ill-fitting quotes, reactions to the news from every micro-celebrity under the sun. They're raw, authentic emotion, brought to you live from all the car seats and bathroom mirrors of the world. But there's nothing about his death. Not even a time window. Did he die this morning? Was he found dead in his bed? Has he been dead for days while Noble's just waiting for the right time to let it leak? Or did he die last night while I was out screwing around? A phone call. Better not be work-related. Not in the right mood. Oh, Morgan. Hey, thanks for picking up so fast. She's Jessica Starling, who asked me to call her. Hi, Jess. Listen, I need to... I've already seen the news. What? Oh. Oh. Of course you have. Duh. I'm sorry I didn't tell you sooner. I just... With the company and their people and all the... What I mean is, if it were up to me, you would have been the first call I made. For a decision like that to be up to David's assistant, but 1,000 other Noble employees above her on the ladder would have to get axed, but it's alright, Jess. No one ever really knows what to do with these kind of things. Still, I'm sorry you had to hear it from a stream Chiron? What difference does it make how the information gets to me? I could have stumbled across his corpse myself and I would feel mostly the same. Well, I appreciate you taking the time to call anyway. Yeah. If I want more information, she's the best source I'm gonna get. Maybe for weeks. What to ask at a time like this? I'm supposed to express denial first, but she's probably short on time. And I don't feel like following the playbook to the letter right now. Wow, she's really like... I assume she doesn't feel, you know, like, empathy or, like, emotions like that, and so she's like, well, I know I'm supposed to go through the 5 stages of grief, so in order to make people think I do, I can fake it like this. I assume is what she's trying to say. Can you tell me what happened? The police, they think that he took something. Suicide? And the police are already involved? They said it was some kind of poison or... God. Noble's got a lot of weight to bludgeon the state with, especially in the city. I would think they'd keep the police at arm's length for at least a few days. Listen, Morgan, I need to ask something of you. Of course, Jess. Whatever you need. Whatever you need. Bit much, but she's grieving. This is just how people talk. And it's not like my day was really salvageable anyway. I'd like to bring you up here. To David's place. What do you mean? There's something I have to give you. You're not handling his will already, are you? If the police are involved, it'll be a while before... No, I'm sorry. It's not like that. Before he... Ooh, inhaler. No, please. Don't hold back on my account. David asked me to get this into your hands. It wasn't work-related. But he asked me. I know I'm asking a lot here, but... since it's turned out to be the last thing he ever asked me to do... I'd like to get it done. I don't like showing up at crime scenes more often, or more quickly than strictly necessary. And that's only when I have to worry about the police. Sorry, when I only have to worry about the police. With Noble looming all over this, security will be doubled and scrutiny tripled. This is too risky. There's no logical reason to agree to her request. And yet... Swing by my place with a cab, yeah? Besides my own morbid curiosity. Right, of course. Thanks, Morgan. Thank you. Wait, I almost forgot. What is it? You don't happen to have anything you could wear in black, do you? I don't know, does she? I think she'd pull it off. The autocab hums a synthesized purr as our on-ramp merges into a canopy superhighway, steadily and suddenly all at once. Not much super about it, but it does cast one hell of a shadow. Canopies always felt very arts and crafts to me. Cobbled together, always added onto, never finished, never planned. It's clearly taken a lot of time and effort to make. But the end result's still ugly. And it feels like it could fall apart at any moment. You okay, Morgan? You look a little carsick. I'm fine. Thanks for asking. But if I ignore her texts right now, she'll just send more later. Hey, Freckles. Saw your friend Asher on the news. Rip. Thank you. For trying to be sincere. Worth a shot. We all have our strengths. God damn, you are one passive-aggressive little girl. Why's all your filial piety go out the window whenever you talk to me? Filial piety doesn't work on you. You love yourself too much and appreciate respect. True, went the train. See, Freckles, you can be very insightful. When you aren't too busy side-eyeing the whole world. Wonder where I picked that up from. Not from me. I'm pretty sure you were born muttering insults under your breath. The nurses tried to make you cry, and you responded by giving them self-esteem issues. Did you ever have dealings with Noble? 10 out of 10 shift in the convo. Subtle as a car crash. Subtlety doesn't work on you either. Well, it might. If you were good at it. This is me asking you for advice. Okay. I guess this never sunk in. Because you spent most of your apprenticeship asleep. But my clients were all celebs. The rich and famous. I didn't have that many dealings with the Megs that own their likeness. Is it really that different? Plenty. Celebs don't like people seeing their dark side, their dirty side. So they pay smart people like me to clean up their messes. But Megs don't like people seeing them at all. Period. And also, Megs are a lot more lively when it comes to bucking. Gross. Hard workers with a lot of stress to vent. Stop. Do you have any actual help to offer? Truth be told, I did have this one run-in. Where I got, I assume what, shit deep in a corporate intrigue. Why? I wonder why they send, oh god. You know what? I'm not even gonna try and figure that one out. I'll let you guys use your imagination. God damn it. Hard worker. A lot of stress to vent. Glad to know I can always reach out to you in my time of need. I'm gonna let that slide because I know you're in mourning. Look. Corporate types are all a bunch of paranoid drug addicts. Puffing glue and playing roulette on their phones. While fantasizing about stabbing everyone else in the meeting to death. So don't expect them to play nice just because Asher was your pal. My actual advice is get whatever you're owed. Then get out of there fast as fuck, boy! That's a beautiful thought, Auntie. I mean it. Corporations prefer Viking funerals. What's a Viking funeral? A dignified ceremony where the body's sent out to sea on a boat. Then, set everything on fire and sink the ashes to the bottom of the ocean. Try not to linger, Freckles. You don't want to be stuck on board when they start knocking their arrows. Thanks. But what the hell was that about me sleeping on the job? I worked harder in one day than any of you Gen Alpha drunks did all week. Should have worked smarter, lol. And if you want to go there, you literally did fall asleep on the job. At the Christmas party. Oh my gosh, she a baddie! Sorry. Sorry. Anyway. What is that? Why do you have that? Why do you have that? It's not even accurate. Work parties are still work, Freckles. I only had my eyes closed. Because all you old farts had your cameras flash on. Morgan? Something wrong? You're sweating. Just, deleting some spam. We've got a couple more minutes of crawling through the canopy's guts before we reach David's part of the city. Uptown, our better half. Gleaming opera houses and towering corporate apartments. Boutique shops with more cameras than customers. Penthouses stacked upon penthouses in a frantic climb to the top of the rat pile. All ringed in by restaurants with long wait times and small serving sizes. The joke is that uptown folks go most of the year without touching street level. Not much of a punchline there. It's basically true. By now, his whole block must have been swarmed by cops, themselves surrounded by media, and all encircled by onlookers. I could try and enjoy these last few moments of calm, but if the storm's coming either way, I'd rather use this time to try and find my footing. Actually, Jess, if you've got a second, I was curious about... I guess let's start here and then go. I saw the headline, by the way. The one where your warm android saved that soldier's life. Oh, yeah. Pretty feel-good, don't you think? So the folks at the company must have been high spirits lately, I take it. That's what I thought when I first heard about it, but... I don't know. Maybe upper management's never happy? Because they're still just writing sales harder than ever, pushing the traditional consumer markets. I thought they'd start building a pitch for Congress the day the story dropped. A big, patriotic campaign why we should need a contract for warm androids in the military. But I haven't heard about them moving staff around for anything like that. Maybe it's all above my pay grade. All the corporate power and money in the world. And there's still such joyless assholes that they won't even celebrate their victories. Alright, then we go down. Remind me, how many years did you and David work together? Oh, well, I started with the company about 4 years ago. They offered me a temp contract when I was graduating. I was put in HR, right in the middle of a hiring burst, so I spent 2 months in the Warrens. Then, an aptitude test got me fast-tracked to mid-low management. Sorry, Warrens? Oh, that's just what we called the company dorms back then, on account of all the people. Plus, it was underground. Didn't see the sun that first month. My skin got so dry. Is that normal in your industry? Normal for everyone I've ever worked with. Except David, of course, but... I mean, he was... the best. Yeah. One Tuesday morning, Dr. David Asher walked right up to my desk, like I'd won the lotto. Said I should come work for him. Dr. David Asher. Directly. On a random Tuesday morning. Like it was nothing. He didn't like to do things on Mondays. Said people were always too tired to get anything done anyway. Yeah, that's right. He did say that. I should know by now, right? 3 years of arranging meetings and keeping him organized and occasionally straightening his tie. He was a good boss. He was a good guy. Yeah. When did you last speak with him? In person? Thursday. Thursday afternoon. Day before yesterday. He seemed normal. I mean, I didn't... We still don't really know anything, Jess. You're right. Thanks. Thursday's the last time I saw him. That was when he asked me to meet with you. Alright. I'm guessing you've already been to his place? Yeah, it's a real mess over there. It's that bloody? Oh god, no, not that kind of mess. I just mean with the cops, stacked on the media, stacked on the lawyers. Each of them with their own network of drones and all their droning. It's very, It's very high productivity atmosphere, is what I mean. When were you able to get over there? Well, I got a call from legal late last night. They weren't exactly delicate in breaking the news to me. Last night. They said they needed my help sorting through all his... Well, you know how he left things organized sometimes. It's been dead since last night, and they've kept it under wraps that long. I know there are a lot of powerful people in his circles, but to stop it from leaking for over 12 hours? Seems like more than just your typical powerful people trying to control the narrative. Seems more like something there's actively trying to suppress. So you found out last night? Right, last night. Oh god. I'm so sorry. I should have told you as soon as I found out. Really, it's alright. Did you see anything? No. I still haven't actually seen him at all. He was airlifted to the hospital ASAP, and that's where he passed, so... But, well, I didn't get the impression the cops had been there that long. Not compared to the lawyers. They and the rest of the company people seemed pretty entrenched. Noble set up camp before the police even arrived. So, what time would that have been? I guess I got there around 9 p.m.? Yeah, because at 9:15 they switched my mode to silo mode, and I got locked out of everything but my work stuff. Sent my last blah at 9:13, see? Gonna expire whoever put me in heels this morning. It me. They can do that to your phone? Lock you out of social media? Of course not. Well, unless I'm on the clock. Or off the clock. But on company property. Then they can remote all my tech. Yeah. How convenient. So if I got in at 9 p.m., I guess the rest of the company people had been there since 8:30 p.m.? I hadn't been there more than a few minutes before the mood changed. Word about the hospital declaring him dead had started to leak. I see. He died after he reached the hospital? That's unexpected. In 2086? You might be in trouble if you get stuck in bureaucratic purgatory when you need to be in the emergency room, but other than that, if you reach the hospital alive, a good doctor can stabilize most any patient within a few moments. And Noble Electronics' lead programmer would have a very good doctor. So, what the hell happened? Is she mistaken? Was he just not officially declared dead until reaching the hospital for some reason? Or... hard to think about, I know. Yeah. Or hard to believe. It is interesting how her eyes shift when she's like... being, like, you know, kind of being normal or trying to pretend, and when she's being, like, honest and real, she has the black eyes. Jess, I have to wonder. What kind of request did David make of you that it couldn't wait a few days? Right, of course. I assume she's asthmatic, like she's doing an inhaler. He asked me to give you something. Something? Is she trying to build suspense? Right, it's just, well, I don't know exactly what it is. You have no idea. He asked me to give you the contents of his safe. Are we headed to the bank then? No, see, he has this private safe in his basement. Maybe you've seen it? Well, I say safe, but it might be more accurate to call it a storage locker? Or a false wall? And all he told you was that he wanted me to have what's inside. Right. He was very clear about that part. Your eyes only, straight into your hands. Handle it in person, he said. Strange. This is all pretty analog for someone as technically gifted as David. Coming from anyone else, I'd call it paranoid. But David was never paranoid. Even when he had every right to be. If he wanted this handled a certain way, it must be for a good reason. So, David asked you to do this on Thursday, correct? Yeah, Thursday. And he passed last night. Friday. Yeah. Wait, you don't think that that when we met, he had already decided? It's not healthy to speculate on that sort of thing. More importantly, it's not helpful. The dead don't have anything to offer the living. I should know. You're probably right. Besides, we'll need to focus. Judging by the size of the crowd I'm looking at, it looks like we're about to jump into the thick of it. 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 Ugh. Lobby. And I thought there were a lot of police here before. Maybe too late to ask, but you're not bad with crowds, are you, Morgan? She's kidding, right? It's downright airy in here compared to what we just waded through. Wide eyes and clenched fist, heads peeking over shoulders and around signs. Police, both mechanical and warm-blooded, closing ranks with holograms and quick-set wires to draw a severe perimeter. While protesters, mourners, fanatics, and busybodies shuffle about at the edges of the police line, the heat of their panicked anxiety washing over. Who the hell are all those people? Well, oh, wrong voice. Well, they've always been people with... I can't read. There've always been people with strong feelings about our products. Androids step forward into the mob, gently, firmly, unfeelingly parting the human tide. Most of them with official police branding, but a few remotely deputized consumer models emerge from the crowd to join them. All of them built by Noble. All of them built from David's code. All of them standing vigil outside his tomb. This is all technically company property, isn't it? Yep. David had the penthouse all to himself, but every other floor's tenants are Noble employees, too. Not an uncommon arrangement in Uptown. Work at Noble, rent from Noble, wave hello to your Noble neighbor in the morning, and make sure to request a spot in line at the official company crematorium. They don't actually do that last part, I think. Does Noble handle employee funerary arrangements? Yeah, it's a pretty standard benefit, actually. It's cheap for them, compared to dental. But Noble's always been generous with benefits. Work hard, and the company will have you set for life. And after. Both the state and Noble have gotten themselves entrenched here in the lobby. Security and damage control and PR and liability. Everybody just glad to be working. I'm feeling a little overstimulated. Any chance we can just skip all these checkpoints? No, absolutely not. So who do we need permission from? The cops or the company? My request went through, so we should have the go-ahead from both at this point. We won't need to go near the actual, is it still called a crime scene? If it's not technically a crime. I don't want to think about how many suits Noble's paying to debate that question right this very instant. Oy, oy, oy. David's vault is in the penthouse's basement. But we can't get to it from these ground floor elevators. We'll have to ride straight up to the rooftop veranda, walk in his front door, and then head down. If Jess says we can do all that without stumbling across where he died, then... Okay. So if we just flash my ID card at any problem that comes up... Including him? Hey ladies! Look, I'm sorry, but I'm afraid we're at capacity at the moment. Let anyone else by and we won't be able to maintain... Huh? You're that lawyer. Morgan. You caught me, detective. How long has it been? Feels like it's been ages. Oh dear. Not still bitter about our last encounter, I hope. I'll live. I don't see the spunky one around. She's taking a mental health day to preserve that unflappable charm. Detective Reyes is around. Why? You miss her that bad? I've had blind pimples that were more endearing. You two know each other? Jess Starling, meet homicide detective Kasim London. It's a pleasure, miss. Oh, likewise? As you might have guessed, the detective and I are acquainted. Comes with the line of work. Morgan's being modest, sweetheart. We're practically blood. Oh, wow, me? Sweetheart? Something wrong, Starling? No, nothing wrong. What? But close as we are, I still can't let her walk in off the street and onto the scene of an ongoing investigation. Even Noble's lawyers have to play by the rules today. Play by the rules. So there is a game afoot. What makes you assume I'm here in a professional capacity? You're a criminal defense attorney and we're at a crime scene. Call it an old man's intuition. Good detectives don't rely on intuition though, do they? They rely on evidence. Oh, I don't rely on it, don't worry. I just needed to lean on it every then and now and then when my back acts up. Oh, cool. Guy gets a bit of gray in his hair and thinks it's a free pass to act like a goddamn cowboy. Well, I'm afraid your intuition is off this morning, detective. I'm here on a private matter. Are you in second? Turn it down a little bit. The deceased wasn't your client? No, that would have been a conflict of interest. Conflict of... You two knew each other? I see. In that case, allow me to give you my condolences. Thank you. But what I could really use is a bit of your help. You sure rally fast. Jess? Right. We have this clearance here, Detective Sir, from legal, which allows us... It's alright, little lady. I trust you. You can leave the paperwork holstered for now. Little lady? Oh, she down bad. We aren't here for David, really. We won't be setting foot anywhere near your staging area, Detective. Alright, why not? How generous. I can afford to be generous today, because if I screw up... He gestures to the lobby full of suits and cops. Plenty of folks at hand ready to pick up the slack. Well, if you're that at ease, perhaps I can take this time to ask you a few questions? You can always ask, Tiger. But I think you understand what I mean when I say whether or not I can answer is not entirely up to me. Alright, let's just go down the list. You're looking a bit haggard. How long have you been here anyway? Since this morning. Civilized folks don't call it morning when the streetlights are still on. Even if he got here around 1 or 2 in the morning, still means homicide wasn't brought in until hours after Noble had the lay of the land. Sounds like you could use a break. I could use a retirement package. Hey, you're a lawyer, right? According to all my business cards. Think I can sue for elder abuse? How old are you again, bro? Not that kind of lawyer, sorry. You would lose, though. I already regret asking. Why have they got a homicide detective losing sleep over this anyway? A man is dead, and he wasn't killed by a fire, a vehicle, organized criminals, wow, that's a new word, criminals, or disinformation, as far as we know. So at the moment, homicide's technically not the worst fit, but we're leading in name only. A high-profile death like this, everyone's got an eye on us. And a hand placed firmly on the back of our neck. I've been checking my phone, but the only thing the news seems to agree on is that David passed away. Sorry, but if you're asking for details, no, thank you. For not letting them make this into a parade. Yet. We do our best to respect the privacy of anyone involved with an ongoing investigation. He declined to say victim. Detective, Dr. Asher was a close friend of mine for many years. Yeah, he trusted Morgan more than anyone. Did he know she was like a, murderer? Was he like in on it? Probably? You would think, maybe? Can you tell me if he killed himself? It looks like that's the case. I see. Thank you for telling me that. Dr. Ash. Yeah, you're sorry. Another round of guarded words. David was an important man, and it has only been a few hours. But all this tiptoeing gives me the feeling that whatever happened to David, it wasn't cut and dry. Your boys and Noble all getting along with each other? Sharing your toys? Some of the younger ones are bristling. But I always play well with others, Counselor. And how well we do the Megs play with you? They give you full... Oh, sorry. And how well do the Megs play with you? They give you full access to building security? They've given us access, and they say it's full. Some big penumbra system. Top-of-the-line coverage. Top to bottom of the building. The size of this data stream's torrential. It'll be a while before we can start making sense of it all. A more conspiratorial man might think that was intentional. Bury us in data and hope we're too swamped to find whatever they're trying to hide. Maybe. Wait, they give you full access to the penumbra? But that means every android in the building is feeding you their full spectrum. You know your stuff. The penumbra pulls data from any androids connected to a building's net, but it's not much help since there weren't any androids in the penthouse. Is Jess a human? I don't know if they ever, outright said that, but Jess might be an android. She seemed very, freaked out by the fact that all the androids in the building are apparently, having their data fed. That kind of inclines me to believe she might secretly be an android. I don't know if it's secret or not, but she might be an android. Right. You know, I heard the rumors. Never put much stock in them, but... It's true? Asher really never owned a single android? Never. Hmm. Well, I suppose I might do the same if I was the genius who programmed them all. Every time they open their mouths, it'd just be his own lip service refracted 1,000 times over, echoing back at him from behind a mask he carved. So that means all you'll have to investigate with are the penthouse's security cameras. Yeah, but that should be more than enough to wrap up a case like this. In a good way, I mean. We're very much on top of this, ladies. Controversy? David was one of the biggest names in tech. He was the face of Noble Electronics. Uh-huh. One could argue androids are only as common as they are today because of his contributions to the field. Some people felt that way, sure. So do you think anyone would want to hurt him because of that? Remind me, which one of us is the detective again? You really won't let me pick your brain? You already know the answer. Yes, ads are controversial. Androids especially. We at Noble are aware our products are sometimes the subject of heated debate, but no need to quote the handbook at us, miss. Truth be told, I never really understood the hate. It's not that complicated, is it? How many people have lost a job to an ad at least once in their career? Every last one of them lost their job because of their bosses, their flesh and blood bosses fired them. Nah, ads are just a symptom. Scratch that. Ads are just a product. Getting mad at them is pointless. And vandalizing them is less than pointless. Because unlike us, they're all insured. And besides, Android production has surged over the last decade to become one of the nation's biggest exports. True. Nice to- oh, shoot. What did you say? Nice to have at least one thing we make in this country. That's right. Not only outsources the production of a small... Noble only outsources the production of a small handful of internal components. Every other part of the manufacturing process is proudly done right here at home. I somehow doubt everyone considers the specifics of Noble's supply chain to be a point of national pride. But you don't need a political science degree to see how much the state values Noble's contributions to the national economy. Alright. Now listen, I don't mind being helpful, and I am trying to be sensitive here, but we really do have a lot on our hands at the moment, so I'm gonna have to ask you to be discreet, and ideally fast. Well, our, business is just in the basement. David's basement. But the penthouse is on the top floor, the roof, so its basement would be... second to last floor if you want to be technical, detective. Point is, we don't need to go in the kitchen or the parlor. We'll go straight back to his workshop, then head downstairs. Kitchen and the parlor. I understand. But all the same... oh, wrong voice. I'd like to escort you two ladies there myself. Wow, an escort, like royalty. Isn't he a gentleman? Huh? Yes, he's... Lead the way, detective. True to his word, London ushered us past the chattering suits and humming drones, through the checkpoints and into the elevator. As it climbed into the sky, we got a good look at the growing throng of people gathered outside, and its shifting makeup. Seems like it's mostly protesters now, or worse, brand loyalists. Idiots led around by the nose their whole life, following the musk of whatever trend is laid out before them each morning. Today's trail having led them here, for half reasons they couldn't put into words even if their lives depended on it. They're like insects. Nice. And they look like them from up here. They're probably already preparing their spin. The Misunderstood Genius of Dr. David Asher, a video essay in 5 parts. Why the company insisted on cultivating such a following for him, I've never understood. Could have easily pinned his achievements on someone more marketable. Some random photogenic employee or a fashion model with glasses. David wouldn't have minded. He never wanted the attention, the chaos. Maybe it's as simple as bad luck. He just happened to have the right look for the part. A man buried in his work, with his eyes fixed ahead. Jess seems sus, but it's probably a red herring. I agree. I'm sure she'll come up. I thought about it for a second, but I think for this game, it's not gonna be her. It's too obvious. But we'll see. She's the only, like, new character we've been introduced to, so I am sure we will get more suspects as we go. This is... what? His laboratory? His shop, he called it. How down to earth. It's messy in here. David was always disorganized. Why a programmer needed to make such a mess just to run tests on computers, I'll never... But sloppy as he could be, he didn't like it when other people saw it. If he was leaving his things like this, he must not have entertained any guests down here in some time. Thanks for all your help, Detective London. Don't mention it. What, you want me to step out? We won't take long. Not lacking for boldness, are you? Look, I have to take a phone call. We'll be in and out as soon as possible. Promise. And whatever Dr. Ash wanted set aside for his foundation, we'll be sure to flag it. Right. At least she's already wearing gloves. If we find a dead body, you'll be our first call. Morgan, what was that stuff about his foundation? Dr. Ash's charity has always been managed by an outside group. You haven't spent a lot of time around crime scenes, have you? Actually, this is my first. Well, generally speaking, it's not really common to retrieve things from the premises while the cops are still searching them. Oh. Oh! Look, if David had something to give me, we can go get it. We just can't make a ton of noise about it. Understand? Of course. Great. After you. Right. Quiet as a church house. That's not... okay, girl. The phrase is quiet as a church mouse, but... I didn't sound super quiet. Yeah, caught myself! I'm okay. But now doesn't seem like the time to correct her. David's shop was a mess, but the mess felt familiar. It was very David. Coming down here, I barely recognized the place. For starters, there's a goddamn gym. David hated exercise. Always claimed he didn't have time for it. Even when I got him that treadmill, and the subscription for the personal coaching program with the scheduling subroutine, said he couldn't find the time. And then even when I explained to him that the program accounted for that and adapted to his schedule, he still... Morgan, what's up? You're smiling. What's so funny? Nothing. Just surprised to see the place renovated. Yeah, he actually had me on mail tag with a couple contractors a while back. Never thought I'd have to learn so much about concrete and wiring and marble. Did you know marble needs to be treated or else indoor air will start to corrode it? I didn't know that. Is that true? Wait, is it not? But her guide told me without an epoxy finish, the entire bar table could... Is that the vault over there, then? Yeah. Stands out, I guess. Nervous? What's that? Oh, a little, I guess. But the inhaler helps, mostly, so... Aren't you gonna open it? Open it? Oh, do we not know the freaking code? Don't you know the combination? No, I do not know the combination to David's basement vault. Oh. Oh. Oh no, how could I have... He didn't tell you or give you a code or... He gave me the code to get in the building and the parking garage, but not the code to whatever this is. Okay. You know, there were a lot of scattered papers back in his shop. Could he have left you a note on one of them? Yes, yes, he could have. He would have. In fact, I think he probably did. You just stay right here, Morgan. I'll have this settled in a sec. Sounds good. Right then. Well, it's definitely locked. Looks like it's a Tethys Basics, Sturdiker, Anti-Hack, Anti-Digital, High-Rated Code panel. Nothing basic about it, but at least I can see the password's limited to 6 characters. Only 1 million possible combinations. Maybe I'll get lucky. Screw that. Maybe I'll get lucky. It'd be funny. Slim chances, but what the hell? Why shouldn't I give it a shot? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Nothing's happening. Okay, that was dumb. I don't really want to dwell on why I thought that could work. Forget it. There's a different terminal over here. Cotter Security Systems, according to the label. Maybe it controls the whole room. Damn, it's password protected too. And the code's 64 digits long? What's the point of a camera system that's harder to crack than your literal vault, you egg-headed? Okay, yeah, a programmer probably would care a lot more about his IoT than whatever he can fit in a safety deposit box. Guess it's a 6-digit vault or nothing. But I'm a lawyer, not a lockpick. And whatever other felonies I get up to in my private time, I've never pulled off a bank heist before. Only tool I've got here is my head. So what do I know? I know whatever David put in this safe, he wanted it kept secure. But I also know he wanted me to have it. So maybe he thought ahead. Maybe he guarded it in a way that I would be the only one who could get to it. David liked games. And he really liked beating me. So if he's left one less puzzle for me, I don't mind going another round. Alright. This flooring's a new addition. Looks rough, like sandpaper, but it's bouncy. Rubberized. Feels like something you drag your feet on at the gym or on a factory floor. It's more high performance than high class. Expensive, but not in the way you'd expect for a penthouse. Well, scratch that, it's actually cracked here. Rubber doesn't break, it bends. That's its thing. Someone must have cheapened out during the installation, left a defect in. That, or David left a jackhammer on overnight. Okay. Taking a closer look, this is a pretty serious looking set of resistance training equipment. And these weights, they're all set near the max. If Noble hadn't appointed him a nutritionist along with his stylist, David would be downright scrawny. There's no way he was putting up these numbers. In which case, yeah, I was about to say, the digits on the weights could be a clue. There's too many and I can't guess the order. So what the hell, Asher? Did you just set the weights to max because it looked more neat? Okay, I guess not. Alright. What's over here? It's a very big painting. And it's, impressionist? No, cubicle. Cubist, which is still incorrect. Yeah, cubicle. That sounds right. It is not. Whatever its style, I do remember David liked this painting. If there was a date on it, that could be a 6-digit password, but I don't see one anywhere. Maybe citing your work was considered gauche amongst cubicleists? David's wine collection, still towering over the room. Don't know why he'd buy so many bottles. He didn't even particularly like the stuff. Maybe just to fill out all these shelves. And not all the bottles are untouched. Some of them don't have dust on them at all. There's a mechanism for retrieving bottles off the rack. The last chosen was a Murdu Camp 81. Could be significant. Except vintages only list the year they were bottled, not the month or day. It's not enough digits for the code. I know, but it's the first numbers we found, so... something. Ladder or step ladder? This must be a spare liquor cabinet. Damn, there's a lot of good stuff here. And a lot of bottom shelf swill. Kind of bargain bin vodka and nose burner whiskey that only an undergrad programmer could love. Nostalgia's sweet like that. Overpowering. 1 part per million can cover up even the cheapest aftertaste. Alright, let's search the whole room now. Time to make or break. What? I don't know. It's the only number I have. No dice. I feel like there was at least one hint I came across. Better try again. Oh, I can do letters? No dice. Hold on. Cubic? No. Something only Morgan would know. I'm trying to think of something. Murder Camp 81. That's the only number in this entire, like, thing, but... Whoa, whoopsie. Oh, I forgot I still have numbers on. Let me fix that real quick. Where's my... There it is. I feel like now's a good time to pull out the book. Morgan. Morgan. Lighter. Smoke. Trying to think. Cubicle doesn't fit. I already tried 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I know it's not it. I gotta look at the log again. They didn't give me any numbers here. I can't... There was cracked in the rubber, which was weird. Which case? There's too many, I can't guess the order. Big painting. I remember David liked this painting. Wine collection. Didn't like wine. Murd 81. I feel like I tried that already. Gosh, I need to use my actual numpad instead of... Because I forgot that's a toggle. Oh god, it's not gonna give me any help. Is there anything? Do I have like his profile? That's what he looked like? Sorry. Meow. Yeah, I guess I could use a small, very, very small hint. His birthday was it's not his birthday, that's too basic. Yeah, that is not what I expected him to look like at all. The color and the word hint is in... The answer is in the phone? Okay. Let's go through our phone. Probably not... No. 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 Save, load, don't care. One, two, three, four, five, six. That's probably it. 11, 25, 58. The date the paint, but I thought they said the date the painting wasn't signed. So I guess I don't know how I was supposed to figure out I had to go in my phone to do that, but all right, let me close the book. Thank you for the hint. I appreciated it. Password that is and isn't left in plain sight. Nice one. Hey Morgan, what? How'd you get it to open? What is that? I turn back around just in time to see a door finish swinging open with mechanical grace, revealing a girl. Oh, this was like kind of the convo that we had at the end of the demo, and like David said he was gonna entrust us with stuff. With a barcode emblazoned across her temple, required by law to be plainly visible. It's an android. Clearly marked as such. And yet, even standing this close, I could swear it's... snoring? I step forward and place the back of my wrist on the android's brow. Warm. It, must be a prototype for the Animate 16. Or maybe a prototype for the 17? Or 18? A biomechanical android with real human flesh. Sorry, biomechanical, yes, but it's organic flesh, not human. They're grown from lax Gemini cultures, but Sorry, I misspoke. Right, understandable, since... You seem surprised, Jess. Hasn't Noble been working on warm androids like this one for a few years now? Warm androids like this one? I mean, yes, we have. Sorry, it's just... This particular model is very, it's very cutting edge. Hello, my name is... I don't know what her name is yet. I'm the android sent by Cyberlife. Leading edge, judging by the flush in those cheeks. I think it's safe to say we found what we're looking for. I think so too. That presents a problem then. Oh, do you not, approve? I've got nothing against androids. My concern is a bit more immediate and, well, practical. Practical? I don't know how to turn it on. Do you see a switch or something? Do you? Can we, turn it around, or... I poke the android's ribs. A little less give than I expected, given its frame, but the rigidity's remarkably lifelike. I place my hand on the shoulder and give it a shake, but it doesn't budge. This thing has to weigh more than... Right. Androids mostly transport themselves, so people are always surprised to find out they're a bit heavier than they look. A bit? Surprised the whole room isn't slanted. There's no way in hell we're moving this thing without waking it up. Crap. First the vault, now this. I was able to guess the combination just by poking around. Compared to that, finding this hunk of junk's power switch should be child's play. And I think I know where to start. Jess, I'm gonna step back into the lab for a moment, alright? Huh? Oh, sure, I'll, there's gotta be a manual around here. Good idea. It might be some kind of prototype, but still got a barcode. Maybe you can scan its GIN number and find something in the company files, Jin? Yeah, of course. All generic ID numbers should be paired with industry standard files on maintenance, tracking, power requirements. I somehow doubt that the enigmatic android taking a catnap in a sarcophagus in David Asher's basement will have a user manual. But it can't hurt for her to try, and... Hello? I'm okay. Broke a heel, but I'm okay. I carry glue. Oh, girly pop. And I'd rather search the lab by myself. Now then, if I were David, and I wanted to make sure that only one person would be able to walk out of here with that android, how would I set that up? Alright, well, it will be investigation time in a moment, but before that, we're gonna take our break real quick, so y'all know the drill. Go to the bathroom, get a drink of water, grab a snack, do whatever you need to do, and we'll be back in just a few minutes. Okie dokie, welcome back everybody. We are going to jump right back into the fray, poking around this... We'll call it a shop, we'll be generous. Okay. These appear to be holding tanks for something. How should I know? No labels on anything. Typical for a genius. What a nightmare for anyone trying to pick up after him. It's a lot more hard science than I expected in here. Centrifuges and glass and microscopes. Don't programmers do all their work with a keyboard? I mean, if you're making, like, warm androids, I'll bet you do need all that stuff. Looks like a fairly normal computer. If I'm lucky, the security will be fairly normal as well. Boot up complete. Username. Vocal commands. David Asher? Morgan? Guest? Thank you for logging in as a guest. It didn't recognize my voice, so I can probably rule out a vocal command being the key to waking the android. Do you have a question? More than one. For now, though, what should I search? I mean, let's just go down the list. Search files for Android. 60,000 results. And counting. Yeah, okay. David would have a lot of files on androids. I'll need to search smarter than that. I guess we'll go Morgan. Search files for Morgan. 23 results on the local drive. I can work with that. Mostly phone book and social data. But I don't recognize this file type. Some kind of personnel format? Date of birth, education, occupation, blood type, height. Is that what's on my phone? Alright, buddy. A little invasive, don't you think? DNA and fingerprints. Now, why do you have that, David? My DNA isn't in any database. I've made sure of that. So he couldn't have bought this anywhere. He must have collected himself from a wine glass or the like. Would have been easy to do. But why do it? Diagrams of human anatomy. The hands are highlighted. The most developed part of the human body. Good for making stone axes and sending emails. Robots and frames can do just fine with claws or 3-digit imitations, but androids are expected to look like people, and move like them too. Getting the hands right must be a big priority at Noble. Is that a neuron? That tree-like... I'm so good! I'm so good! That tree-like shape on the right is a neuron. Those branches receive input of varying weight, and then if the sum is greater than a certain threshold, the neuron fires. 0 becomes a 1, and all the other zeros around it take that into consideration. Keep that a couple billion times a second, and you've got the human brain. A computer powerful enough to simulate all of reality. That's an analogy I read in a magazine, anyway. Haven't seen one since college, but this must be a 3D printer. Of some sort. Feels expensive enough to make other printers look like soda fountains by comparison. Better not mess with any of the settings. Alright, I'm starting to get a pretty clear picture of what it'll take to turn on this android. I've got the what. For the where and how, I'll just have to manage. Still just a piece of machinery. If it really won't turn on, I can always just hit it. Start hitting it. Dang, Morgan! Morgan, there you are. I've looked in every registry I could find and every database I could get into, but I don't think this android is in the system. It was a long shot. Don't beat yourself up over it. Yes, but an android without the proper identification is... It's only buying or selling an android without proper identification that's illegal. And it doesn't seem like he ordered this online. I guess you're right, huh? We'll have it registered soon enough anyway. I think I figured out what we need to do here. Oh? David really wanted me to have this. He would have left some way for me to turn it on. What are you thinking? David had my... I'll bet I have to do the hand. They kept doing hand stuff. David had my fingerprints and my DNA on file. By requiring both, he could be reasonably sure that no one was powering up this android without my approval. You've done a swab before, haven't you? Every month for the company. Apparently they're building a database on employee epigenetics cross-referenced with... Oh, so you're gonna... My DNA and my fingerprints make the key. Now, where to find the lock? Try the hand, it was highlighted. There was that diagram back in his shop. Was it meant to be a literal handshake verification? Huh, I thought that would work. Me too. Alright. We are not kissing the android. Let's try... I guess let's try the chest. Maybe somewhere with a lot of surface area? The torso? The chest? I'm not doing that. Nose? I don't know why, but the nose, I guess it's not impossible. Morgan, are you really gonna stick your thumb up its nose? No, I'm not. If it takes something that silly to boot it up, I don't even want it anymore. God, do we have to kiss the android? I don't feel good about that. Not because it's an android, but because the android, I don't feel right about kissing someone who's asleep. The lips are on one of the most sensitive areas of the body. Not the worst place to make a scan, even if it's gross placing my finger there. Oh, okay, okay, we don't kiss the android, we just... Oh, that's... Still not doing it, huh? Come on, do I really need to push my finger deeper? Jiggle the key? Oh, man, you went right in there. Are you touching the tongue? It's blinking at me. Okay, I guess that's how we do it. Hey, Pookie. Good moment. Good morning to you, too. Cute. Hello. I've never seen you two before. I guess we should introduce ourselves then. Hi. This is Jessica Starling. She works for Dr. Asher. I'm Morgan, a friend of his. Got all that? I understand. She is Jessica Starling, and you are Morgan. Last name unknown? No, Morgan is my last. Father told me about you. Aw, he did? Wait, Father? David, you had it call you Daddy? I am referring to Dr. David Asher. Are you confused? That's not the word I'd use. I'll throw a bone beyond the grave for the good doctor and just move this along. Did David say he was giving you to me? Transferring ownership? Ownership? That is correct. And what else did... Mostly correct. Right. And what else did he tell you? Many things. Can you specify? Oh, can you specify? I thought conversation was the first thing David figured out how to program. Did Dr. Asher tell you anything he wanted you to convey to Morgan? A message you were supposed to pass on? Yes. Jess, I think it's trying to... Oh, okay, sure, I'll give you two. Or, well, I'll give you some privacy, Morgan. I've actually gotten about 14 messages in the last 2 minutes, so... I'll just head back to the lab to take some calls, okay? Thanks, Jess. Yes. Thank you, Jess. You're welcome. Just the two of us now. So what do I call you? My name is Sarah. It's nice to meet you, Morgan. Trust me, the pleasure's all mine. So, what's the message? Father told me that I would be living with you from now on. And he told me that you would look after me. Shouldn't it be the other way around? Should it? A model this lifelike, with warmth and breath and something close to blood in its veins. Just what are you anyway? You forgot my name already? It's Sarah. What were you built for? You're warm, obviously. You're not one of those physical therapy models, are you? That would be highly illegal. I haven't completed 500 hours of study at a state-approved massage therapy school. I haven't even completed 1 hour. What purpose did Dr. Asher design you for? I don't know the answer to that question. You don't know why he built you? No. Should I? How can you not? Do you? Would I be asking you if I did? I meant, do you know why you were created? Why were you why you were born? Why? Why me? Why would you? Why are you doing this? You're a freak. A monster. What the hell's wrong with you? Please don't kill me. Please. Why? Why? Why was a monster like you even born? Huh. Guess I walked into that one. I was starting to wonder if we even had the Turing solution. Father's framework for programming linguistics and artificial systems. And the body of work for which he first gained international recognition. She's so cute. I love her. Yeah, an international jealous. Do you have an answer to my question? An answer as to why you were created? Why you exist? Occam's razor. I'm here because my parents wanted me. I see. Then I will give a similar answer. I was created because Father wanted to make me. Can't argue with that logic, can I? Can't argue with that logic. Father did say that you're a lawyer. Yeah, that's me. You're a lawyer, and I defeated you with logic. World-class, high-power attorney. Best defense money can buy. So, do you catch criminals? That's what cops do. Do you litigate criminals? That's what prosecutors do. Then, do you fight for the underrepresented? Expose injustice? Sue corrupt corporations and officials? I don't think anyone does that anymore. Then, what do you do? I'm criminal defense attorney. A defender of the innocent and powerless. I love her little sparkles. Uh-huh. Do you also... Now that you know all about me, what can you tell me about yourself? I've never had to do that before. First time for everything. How old are you? I'm not sure I can give a satisfactory answer. 0 for 2 on answering simple questions. What's the date of your earliest memory? 2 years ago. And where were you constructed or assembled or whatever? What facility? I was not constructed at any facility. Father created me. Here. By himself. You're saying if I took you apart, I wouldn't be able to find any markers from any manufacturers, any IDs of any designer? You want to take me apart? David was a programmer, not an engineer. How could he build a custom android from scratch in the comfort of his own home? He couldn't have. He must have had help. Probably a whole department's worth. If I ask around, there's gotta be someone in the company who can ID this thing. Help me figure out what's so important about it. You don't look like any android I've ever seen. What are you made of? This body's comprised of organic tissues integrated directly into cybernetic systems. They require organic nourishment, including water, carbohydrates, salt. Wait, warm androids have to eat and drink? They cannot be worth that much trouble. My cybernetic system operates largely as analogies to their equivalents in the human body. I can't say that word. I have a respiratory system for oxygen exchange and a centrally located pump that circulates oxygen. You mean you've got a heart? How quaint. But where does all the extra weight come from? Pardon? I tried moving you earlier and it felt like I was pulling against a truck. My skeleton is a combination of medical-grade plastics and a military-grade titanium carbide alloy. That sure took the wind out of her sails. My muscles are made of adaptive rare earth alloy nanoweave fiber, with shock absorption and kinetic chain potential rated past... Wait, did you say military grade? I have a grip strength above 1,000 kilograms. I can run at sustained speeds of over 60 kilometers per hour. I can jump 6 meters vertically. I can lift approximately... I'm not sure what kind of grip strength most androids are walking around with. I've never seen any of them move the way it's talking about. Even just standing there, it seems to be poised, controlled, spring-tight, strength and flexibility, like a ballerina or a gymnast. Strong enough to flip over a tank, lifelike enough to avoid detection. Huh? As long as it never stepped on a scale, it'd make for the perfect infiltration unit. The perfect weapon, if you could keep its development a secret. Did David really put something that heavy on my plate? Dismantling a military prototype in secret? Are you Deep in thought? That a military infiltration android would look more crew-cut and forgettable. And would David really devote personal time and effort just to make another weapon for the military? I have other features I could tell you about, if you like. If I shot you, would you die? It would be very painful. And there would be a discharge of fluid, but conventional weapons would not prove particularly effective. That settles it. This thing's a weapon, sure as I... Would you like to know about my hair? Your hair? I'm impressed you noticed. Each fiber contains miniaturized solar cell lattice technology, allowing me to remain charged throughout the daytime. That must come in handy? I haven't actually had the chance to use it yet. This room has ambient wireless charging functionality, and I haven't gone outside much. Okay, maybe it's not a weapon after all. You're just a pincushion, aren't you? I am not familiar with the term. Searching. Pincushion. Jargon. Design. Refers to prototypes sold with experimental technologies to check for compatibility issues. Got an idea, not sure what to do with it? Stick it in the pincushion. It's as good an explanation as any for what I'm staring at. A mishmash of state-of-the-art military features, spliced with odd new technologies and seemingly pointless additions. The end result being a singular, unsellable android that wasn't particularly good at anything and would break down after only a few years. Pincushions are a small but valid part of the field of android manufacturing. They are valuable to collectors, who see them as time capsules filled with their designers' most outlandish ideas and least reproducible results. But even the most nonsensical pincushions are built via committee, over years, with numerous engineers and programmers adding in their pet functions. The android before me claims to have been built by one man. A man who's now... Seems we got off track there, Sarah. Is there anything else David told you to relay to me? Besides that you were to look after me? He also told me that you were reliable, and that I should trust you. He said that I was to listen to you, and obey your instructions. Finally, some good news. As you say, Adonai. What's that? Huh? That word you called me. What was that? Adonai, from classical Hebrew. Translated literally, it means, my lord. Do you prefer that I call you master? No. Very good, Adonai. Why'd David use Hebrew, though? Abrahamic myths tell of servants constructed out of earth and clay, designed to resemble and obey their masters. Golems. Father must have found the comparison appropriate. Amusing. More likely, it's just a joke. Father would not make light of such a thing. Sure he would. Perhaps we should ask him to clarify his reasoning for himself. Well, where is Father, by the way? Is he upstairs? When was the last time you were active? 38 hours ago. Thursday night, then? Correct. Right. David Asher is dead. He died last night. Understand? Ow. May I see him? See him? No, I won't be able to see him. Funeral's probably not for a few days. Father was not... He was not sick. I don't feel like doing the whole song and dance with 2 robots in one day. Who was the other robot? Who was the other robot, Morgan? That's very charming, but let's go to commands only. Morgan? Morgan, who was the other robot? You want to inform me on that? What? What happened? Did he have an accident? Why is it still doing the theatrics? Does it not recognize my authority yet? The police have determined that he committed suicide. For the time being, we'll have to focus on getting you properly registered. Maybe then you'll take commands the first time I say them and not... Oh, it was the desk? Okay, I thought I was onto something. The police are wrong. Excuse me? They are wrong. Father did not commit suicide. He would never do such a thing. Father had... He told me... Look, Sarah... I'm sorry? You're sorry. Father said you were his friend. How are you so calm? I've been around death a lot, so don't try and lecture me about grief, Spearmint. My name is Sarah. You will use it because my father, Dr. David Asher, the greatest programmer in the world, gave it to me. And he did not kill himself. Let's say you're right. David didn't commit suicide. If that's the case, the police will realize it soon enough. The police have already made their determination. That's what you just said. Father said that you were a lawyer, that you were capable and reliable, and a friend. You should be looking into his death. That's... Is that an order? Of course not. It is a request, Adonai. A request that I'll have to refuse. The police have their job and I have mine. If I stick my nose into their investigation any further, they'll come down on me hard. Cops don't like lawyers on principle. But what they really hate are people who tell them how to do their job. Let's go. We need to... Father asked you to look after me. Yeah, he did. He also said you should obey me, but you don't seem quite as fixated on that part. And he said something else. He said that you owed him a favor. One favor. The thin ice starts here, Spearmint. That was between him and me. Father is gone, so now it is between you and I. And I am calling in the favor now. What? You don't have to take care of me anymore. Consider that request null and void. You can sell me to some collector, or you can donate me to a university. Doesn't matter. In exchange, you will prove Father didn't kill himself. And you will make sure that whoever hurt him is held accountable. Why are you laughing? It's you and me, not you and I. You and me. David would roll over in his grave if he knew you'd gotten that wrong. It was not my intention to amuse. Or rotate. No, that's for damn sure. Hmm? Fine. I'll take that deal, Sarah. You mean, you will prove that Father did not... I mean, I'll look into it. I'm a lawyer. I don't prove anything. I just disprove what I can. Then where do we start? We? I didn't realize you had a law degree. I do not have a law degree, but I'm a fast learner. This isn't a job interview. And I am far from useless. I can... The ad did raise at least one good question. Where did I start? I'm a defense attorney, not a police detective. And David was my friend, not my client. I won't be able to poke around at all unless... And I'm also capable of... Can you tell a lie? I am capable of making statements that are false. Guess that'll have to do. Are you going to ask me to lie? Yes. To the police, in fact. Lying to the police is a felony. I love her little, like, disgruntled expression. Androids don't commit felonies. They make errors. I see. What kind of error did you have in mind, Adonai? Are you sure about this? Surely this will not end well. You have questions too, don't you? Right now I'm just a little better equipped to get answers than you are. Okay, go for it. I'll make sure they're watching. Is the air quality at Noble headquarters kept up to state standards? What's that? All these Noble employees seem to have asthma. Was Father also working under such poor conditions? They don't have asthma. Then why are they all carrying inhalers? Yes, ma'am, she's right over here. Is it because they, like, grew up in the mines or whatever, like, underground? And so it gave them, like, breathing problems? Oh, hey, baddie! Oh, it's you. Oh, it's you. Did I mess up? On the contrary. Eyes wide, she's a DA. Quiet. She succeeded spectacularly in getting Noble's ears perked up. Emma Rockford. Didn't think I'd run into you here. Yeah, didn't think I'd be here either. But the powers that be think my presence sends a strong message to the Megs, so... No, wait. What are you doing here? A few moments later. I see. I'm sorry for your loss. Thank you for saying that. And thank you, Detective Reyes, for your many kind words. We can't all be as talkative as you. Normally, quoting poetry would feel pretentious, but you were so genuine in your reading. Bite me! I don't know that there's a need for all that. Very mature, Detective. Did you come up with that yourself? Oh, no, that's Kaguya's signature pose. Like the pop star? I don't know what you're talking about. You can admit it if you do. Well, there's nothing to admit because I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know who that is. Wait, now you're saying you don't know who Kaguya is? She's the most famous... Yeah, well, I just don't know who that is, so... Ma'am. Weren't you about to say something? Oh, well, I'm still surprised to see you here now, Morgan. Are you helping plan the services? Actually, the company will be planning Dr. Asher's funeral service. Wouldn't his family want to take care of that? No. No? No. I see. Sorry. But if that's the case, why are you here, Morgan? Ha! Oh gosh, I'm so sorry to disrupt your morning. Hey, you're here for the same reason as every other suit they've got crawling around. Money. You're not wrong. There are a lot of annoying insects with annoying agendas scurrying around before my friend's body is even cold. But the honest truth is, I don't know if David had a will. The company helped him manage his estate. Legal is probably already on it. Actually, judging by how much coffee that intern is carrying into the elevator, I'm certain they are. Right, so if you're not here for the funeral or the reading of the will... Miss Starling asked me to come here, actually, on a matter unrelated to David's passing. An unrelated matter? That's convenient, isn't it? But now that I am here, it's come to my attention that the police have made a determination in the case of David's death. And where did you hear that? Am I mistaken? No, you're right. They concluded that it was suicide. Can always count on her to be blunt. I was worried about that. Yeah, I'm sure you must be feeling. Because I'm gonna have to contest that charge. What? The state has made a charge. I'm arguing against it. The hell are you talking about? The police believe David committed suicide. Suicide is a felony in this country, Detective. It is technically a crime to commit suicide, yes, but we're not in the habit of bringing dead men to trial. Especially not for their own murder, Morgan. No, not to trial, of course not. But there would be a preliminary hearing in a case like this. Technically, as a formality. Assuming the courts aren't busy that day. I'm afraid on this occasion I'm going to have to insist on a formality. Yeah, well, you really don't have much say in the matter, do you? With David gone, I have the only say, really. I am, after all, his criminal attorney. All that money and he needs his drinking buddy to be his attorney? Bullshit. I'm also skeptical, Morgan. It's a pretty serious conflict of interest to be your friend's defense attorney. You're absolutely right. It is a conflict of interest. And I would have said as much to him if I had the chance. What do you mean? I only found out he wanted me to be his attorney today. After he died? How the hell did you miss that memo? Embarrassing, isn't it? But to be fair, it was hidden pretty well. Oh, I didn't know you had an android, Morgan. It's cute. Thanks, but it's actually David's. And it's technically my witness. Witness to what? 38 hours ago, that is, David Asher communicated to me as a matter of record the following is explicit legal intent: that in the case of any and all criminal charges brought against him by the state, his attorney would be Evangeline Morgan. That's her first name? Evangeline? Evangeline? No, wait. Seriously? Your name's Evangeline? Did your parents name you after a Christmas carol? Should we all be curtsying? It's not that funny. No, of course not. Nothing to be embarrassed about. Evangeline. Evangeline's a pretty name. There's nothing wrong with naming a character Evangeline. Y'all know what, you guys will know what I'm talking about in a month. Don't worry about it. Or do your friends call you Angel? I hear Kaguya's on tour, detective. Should I get you tickets? You could have your dad drive you like all the other 15-year-old... Hey! Feels like we're getting off topic. What were we just... I was telling you that David Asher wanted her to be his criminal defense attorney. Imagine my surprise. An android's recording of a verbal expression of intent isn't exactly ironclad, Morgan. That's fair. And if we were going before an upper-level court, I would expect that to be open to all kinds of scrutiny. But we're talking about a preliminary hearing. As a formality, as you called it. If he asks for representation, he deserves representation. Doesn't matter whether he's dead or alive. Am I missing something? What difference does it make? Not even an adjutant would be obtuse enough to sentence a dead man. No, there wouldn't be a sentence, but the adjutant will render a verdict. And verdicts have consequences, even for the deceased. Is that what this is about? What's she getting at? If the court agrees this was a suicide, the verdict will retroactively affect the evaluations of the individual's mental health. Like, whether he was in his right mind or not? You know anything about estate tax law, detective? No. But I'm sure you'll be happy to educate me. More than happy. An individual found by a court to not be of sound mind can't very well give their consent to the lawyer drawing up their will. If his will is compromised, all of David's considerable assets would suddenly be thrown into legal limbo. In which case, the state would be legally obligated to come in and pick up the pieces. So this is just about his money. I'm almost disappointed in you, Morgan. Well, when you take into consideration all the factors, it's actually more complicated than that. For example... Never mind. No, Starling, you should speak your mind. All I mean to say is, while Dr. Asher did have significant holdings in art, real estate, and intellectual property, he had IPs? I guess that makes sense. He owned a company. He also, of course, owned a great deal of stock in numerous corporations, principally Noble. He was ruled to not be of sound mind, and his shares were to end up acquired by the government. Noble would suffer a serious blow to its commercial image and its standing in the financial community. All which is to say, there's a great deal at stake here. Not the least of which is a reputation of a man whom I was proud to call my friend. You're not buying this, are you? In case you haven't noticed, the city is working closely with Noble on this, and they're not gonna let you bring them any unwanted attention. Starling did her part. They're watching, and they've stopped trying to hide it. From here on out, it's a gamble. Noble Electronics already has unwanted attention. Why are you raising your voice? If nothing changes, by the end of the day, the whole country is going to hear about how David Asher committed suicide. By midnight, there'll be questions about his competency. Concerns about why the brain inside every single Noble ad was built by an apparently unstable man. The shareholders will have nothing to do all Sunday but brood over that sad thought and all its disturbing implications. By the time the markets reopen on Monday, I would expect a great deal of volatility. That's so. I understand Noble's apprehension, of course, Emma. I just feel like right now, the fiscally conservative thing would be to not get in my way. So you've got your reasons, and Noble's got a lot to think about. But why should the district attorney's office devote valuable time to playing out this game of yours? Because they're certain they'll win. That goes without saying. The court should have an opening at 6 p.m. I didn't have anything planned. Then it's a date. Kiss, kiss, kiss. Sorry. Detective, would you get her clearance set up? Yes, ma'am. Updates every hour, yeah? You're out on a limb, Morgan. Better not linger. Here. Clearance for all the relevant sites and police firewalls. You can interview and investigate with your authority as an officer of the court now. If you haven't already been doing that. Don't even think about being sloppy with discovery on this. Rockford might think you're funny, but I appreciate the warning, Detective Reyes. It's nice to know you care. I live to serve. And protect! Ew. Thanks for the assists, darling. Yeah, no sweat. Are all cops like that? Or are they more like the Detective London gentleman? Ooh. I'm gonna say more like her. I don't know, though. They're mostly like that, yeah. They're all that intense? Yeah, it comes from being short. And most cops are short? Yeah. Right. Well, I'll see you at the courthouse tonight. If you need anything in the meantime, don't be afraid to ask. Good luck. Both of you. What do we do now? Well, I have a few options. One sec, I gotta grab something.
Come here, Misty. Come here. Yes, you're a good kitty.
Sorry, cat moment. Well, I have a few options. I have access to the crime scene now. Probably the best place to start. I'd like to head over to the company building as well. To get me registered? Among other things. Either David killed himself or he didn't. But if he did, it's almost certainly his asshole corporation overlords who are to blame. In which case, I want to take my sweet time raking them over the coals. What are you doing? Nothing. What about Father? When can we see him? He'll be at the morgue by now. The medical examiner will speak to me now that I'm operating under the court's authority. If I stop to flash paperwork at every nurse and security guard with nothing better to do than ask questions, I'll have to... What's that look for? You were Father's friend. Thank you again for reminding me. Aren't there people you'd like to speak with? Other friends who'd want to know? Bad news travels fast. I'm sure everyone in the country has heard about David by this point. But all that heartbreak shit did keep me pretty occupied these last few weeks. And I was never one to pry. There was someone who could tell more about David's personal life over these last several months. It'd be worth the effort of finding them. Do you have someone in mind? Maybe someone he met recently? He spoke about becoming close with someone this year. A musician. A lover? Now that you mention it. There was a P.O. Pope something that David might have mentioned when we talked back in... I will begin a search. I've completed my search. I found nothing. Thanks for the old college try. Is that really the best you can do? Father was a private man, in person and online. With just a few letters and the fact he was a musician, I'm afraid we don't have enough information to narrow down the results, Adonai. No, we have plenty of information. We just need the right person for the job. What kind of person is that? Are we going to our mentor, maybe? Entertainment room. Uh-oh. And who would you even have called? Oh, you! I don't know. But I still should have gotten my phone call. Instead, I got you. Our little rat. Who are you again? My latest guardian. Morgan should not be in charge of a teenager. I will say that. Morgan and her, what, 2 adoptive children now? My latest guardian, new foster parent. Want me to call you mommy? I'm not really the motherly type. Hey, yo, we might actually get along. So I've got good news and bad news. I'm not your guardian, I'm your lawyer. Oh, this is a flashback. I'm actually stupid. I should have paid attention to the date. You've been given a lawyer because you're being charged with a felony. Fascist pigs. Skipping school's a felony now? I think this is a flashback, yeah. Hacking into a government database has been a felony for a very long time. That wasn't me. They have your keystrokes, your IP address, your login times, and the playlist you were listening to. That was for a homework assignment. Here's what I don't get. You got in, copied the data, could have gotten right out. State wouldn't even know they'd been robbed until they saw their passwords show up on black market's clearance 2 weeks later. But you didn't get out. You stayed. What do you want? What do you want, cat? Stayed and made changes to their database. You robbed the bank, got clean money, and dragged a can of spray paint behind you all the way home. Why? Look, I didn't steal anything that wasn't already compromised. And the only data I edited was my own. So if anything, they should be thanking me for correcting their mistakes. What, did they get your birthday wrong? My name. Name changes are only 2 pages of paperwork. You just need to fill out the form and get a signature from a parent or guardian. So, what's the good news then? Good news is that I'm your lawyer, not your guardian. The hell? That doesn't count as good news. That's just a thing you said. Don't be so sure. A lawyer's a lot better than a guardian. Okay, I'll let... Alright, cat break is over. Back to business. Don't be so sure. A lawyer's a lot better than a guardian. How's that? Parents, guardians, foster whatevers, they're supposed to take care of you because it's the right thing to do. A lawyer is someone who always does what's best for you, no matter what, because that's how they get paid. So how good are you at your job? Hello, mon cœur. It's pronounced coeur? I'm sorry, I don't know. I know how it's pronounced. And don't call me that. When I met Fran in that police station, I couldn't help but bet that I'd landed the jackpot. A valuable asset with a skill set complementary to my own personal and private pursuits. Someone who, after seeing the sweetheart probation deal I managed to land for them, would be more than happy to help me with whatever I need whenever I need it. Always so cold, Fran. Can't I even get a good morning? No such thing. Nothing good's ever happened until the afternoon, when people are actually awake. What I got instead was a compulsive liar with horrific sleep schedule and a crippling addiction to poor time management. What do you want, Red? I can't call you up just for fun? Not if you don't want to get blocked. I need you to find somebody for me. Can't do it. I've got homework. We both know the only time you ever do your own homework is during the class it's due. And I've got sports. You can't tell a basketball from a hockey stick. And I've got a bidding war to win. You're the only person on Earth bidding on 70-year-old... I don't know that word. An Air Jordan vintage rep, Fran. I think you can take your eyes off the auction block. So... yeah, so sorry, but I'm busy, so... I was hoping we could skip straight to the carrot portion of the routine, but if you insist on doing things from the top... Huh? I had an interesting conversation with your parole officer yesterday. Yeah? They've been really into the self prefixes lately. What? Self-motivation, self-actualization, self-help? Oh. And he thinks you could really benefit from it. You're lying. He's got all the workbooks ready. Ugh. Clearly your Saturdays are stacked, so I'll make sure your Sundays are full of... Fine, I get it. I need you to find a local musician. Musician? Knowing you, this will be Electro Swing or some other awful last name Powell or Parker. And that's all you got? They'll be in David Asher circles. Wait, Asher? You're working on that? That should be more than enough for a clever kid like yourself to go on. Don't go expecting any miracles. I need this soon. In the hour, ideally. You know I have other clients, don't you? Other clients who actually pay you? On time? A musician. Find him. Okay. Even talking over the phone, you're very animated, Adonai. What do you mean? Just that you're very expressive when you talk to people. Of course I'm expressive. If I wasn't, how would anyone know what I'm thinking? I see. I'll keep that in mind as we... Wait, you really expect to tag along? Of course. Father was... Yeah, I know you want to. But why should I let you? Because I am capable and helpful. Uh-huh. I mean it. I can take notes for you. And move heavy objects. And I'll learn to do more. How? I will subject every individual we encounter to a basics... Oh god. To procure biographical information on them while I gain experience in questioning. Subjecting them to torture. I can help, Adonai. How fast can you fill out forms? Fast. Congratulations, you're halfway to being a paralegal. Huh? You coming? Right away, Adonai. Okay. Noble Employee Housing Building. Penthouse dining room. Pretty quiet elevators, huh? You could have taken the next one. It's a busy building, detective. Can't hold up everyone else on our account. Anything you'd like to grumble at me before I start? Don't touch anything. I don't care that you're wearing gloves. I have been to crime scenes before, you know. Long before the police get there in many cases. Look, Rockford asked me not to get in your way, but that doesn't mean I'm gonna bend over for you. Do you at least have the autopsy report? No. Are you seriously? I don't. She doesn't? The report should have come in hours ago. Wouldn't take this long unless the cause of death was still. Then I'd settle for a summary of the preliminary findings. An emergency call was made shortly after 8 p.m. last night via the home security system. Emergency medical services had a VTOL in the air within the minute. They landed on the penthouse helipad at 8:08. Dr. Asher was found unconscious with low blood pressure and a weak heartbeat. He wasn't breathing. In-flight auto triage administered artificial CPR while in transit to Gatesfield Memorial. He was declared dead a few minutes after being taken to the emergency wing. I see. And the cause of death is being investigated. Make an educated guess. He stopped breathing, so they gave him oxygen. His heart stopped pumping, so they had the machines take over. His brain activity dropped to 0. And there wasn't anything else they could do. It was poison, wasn't it? What kind? You don't know, do you? Ah, they don't know either. Like I said, ma'am, we don't have the autopsy report yet. Why are you certain it was poison, Adonai? Couldn't it have been accidental overdose? If he had overdosed on a commercial drug, even a pre-med student would have spotted it in the hospital's intake screening. They would have been able to pump his stomach, neutralize his bloodstream, and he would have lived. But he didn't live. So, it must have been something deadly. A compound designed solely to kill. Fast-acting, deadly poison that causes respiratory failure. The list can't be that long. Even just through process of elimination, the medical examiner should have identified it by now, unless, what, it's something like that's never been made? You suspect a designer drug, don't you, detective? Why is it you're only quick on the uptake when it suits you? Nothing else makes sense given what we know and what we don't. But the CDCA decriminalized and cataloged all recreational drugs. Guess you aren't entirely clueless about politics. So whatever Father overdosed on should have been in the hospital's database. You need to update your definitions. You're confusing designer drugs with recreational drugs. What is the difference? Recreational drugs are decriminalized and sold through pharmacies after years of testing and mountains of paperwork. While the average designer drug was invented last week in a 19-year-old line cook's bathroom on the other side of the globe. Hospitals can't know the proper countermeasures for an overdose of a drug that didn't exist 48 hours ago. Came across makeshift labs all the time when I was a uniform. Equipment's cheap and widely available. Black market cooks, gray market peddlers, and white-collar lobbyists, all chasing each other's tails in a long line to find the next big hit. CDCA didn't change shit. More people die from ODs than ever before. We need to cook, Jesse. We need to cook, Sarah. We need to cook. Only difference is their families finding them in the living room, and not beat cops finding them on street corners. Real comforting, I'm sure. If it wasn't you talking, I'd say that was a criticism of law enforcement. Not law enforcement, just a law. Assuming it was a designer drug, that would certainly make things more complicated. For the insurance guys, maybe. For us, whatever he used to do it, he still killed himself. Or didn't kill himself, if you insist. I'm going to take a look around now. Yeah, sure, make yourself at home. What's that face for? I thought that there would be an outline. Oh, of the body? An outline? Around where they found Father. Like in the movies? Like in film. Connect to the police's networks and bring up their ARCS file. Augmented reality crime scene. I see. Sarah is so cute, dude. I love her. There is an outline. And so, this is where he died at the hospital. This is just where the medics found him. And it's the sensors and cameras they were wearing that create the basis for this ARCS? Mm-hmm. They didn't realize they were walking into a crime scene, but their body cams gathered data all the same. Where do we start? You can start by following behind me and trying to be as quiet as possible. Damn, cruel. Starting to get a feel for when she's pouting, even without looking. Alright, let's go. Ooh, chess? A chessboard, and a data pad with a series of characters on it. E4, C5. Okay, knight F3, E6, D4. Take on D4. Knight takes D4. This is... It's chess notation. Yeah, it's a game. Algebraic, an old game, or playing against himself. Black has a checkmate in 40 moves. Wow, a robot that's good at chess. We had to put you in a museum. Gosh, my chess days. Way back in the day. But I'll take your word for it. What do you mean? Do you not play, Adonai? No, especially not against David. Well, that is to be expected. What was he, a grandmaster? What was his rating? Anyone who challenged Father to a battle of wits would naturally grow tired of losing. Every game starts the same. Each player has the same pieces, same moves, same options. The true test of wit, strategy, and forethought. To me, it always seemed too... boring? Too fair. The smarter player wins every time. And that is something you take fault with? Of course. How's a gal like me supposed to win a game like that? Oh, you lying... okay. I always admired this view. Buildings gleam with reflections of holograms and sunlight, and their shadows obscure all the run-down, rotting parts of town. Maybe the view's secondary. Maybe all anyone really wants is to put as much distance between them and the street level as possible. Is it possible that a witness could have seen something through these windows? Not through these windows, no. David installed wide-spectrum auto tint in all his homes, all his cars. I didn't know that. Well, you wouldn't notice unless you were viewing the penthouse from more than... Why did he care so much about his windows? I mean, I wouldn't want people, like, peering in either. Police androids monitoring the scene. Could almost mistake them for the real thing, the way they stand there trying to look important. Like an indoor dog taking its first trip to the park. Pardon? Why are you looking at it like you've never seen an android before? Because I haven't. In person. David didn't even let you have a mirror? Brutal. Aww. Just scan its gin if you're that curious. Unless that's considered too forward or whatever. Better take a closer look. Password locked, but already cracked by the police, it seems. All the docs were take-home safe. Nothing spicy. When was it last used? 7:48 p.m. Still reading work emails only a few minutes before he committed suicide? Morbid. There's a lot of messages marked priority that breadcrumb their way back to an article. Oh, it's the Warm Android article. Stunning heroic episode. Brave private was wounded. Bleeding badly. An animate enforcer. The android didn't just sit there, it opened its own arteries and pumped UD synthetic plasma, stabilizing long enough. I have no doubt he'd be dead. I always thought Noble's good at making assets look good. Story brings well-dressed shot in the arm to Noble's stock prices. Noble's warm androids have proven themselves to be worth their price tag. Military contract for Noble to provide armed forces with warm models. Oh damn, you're not logged in. Why don't you pop your... yeah. In that article I've seen going around. But why would Noble have marked it as priority? Starling said they weren't in any rush to pat each other on the back about it, even though they'd won themselves a real prize. I do read most of the article, or at least skim it. I'm just a very quick reader. Military contract. Now they have the excuse they need to pressure the military into a contract for warm androids. Can't dismiss the expensive upgrade as unnecessary now that it saved a soldier's life. This time next year, there'll be pink oxidizing fluid being spilt all over the globe. Alright, we got a cup. Spilled alcohol. The arcs showed how it looked last night before it evaporated. No foreign substances in the puddle. It's clean. So does that mean wherever the spill came from must be clean as well? Okay. Rose River Whiskey, 12 years old. You recognize it? Sure, he was more than partial to the brand. It's a good brand, only a bit overpriced, which is the bargain of a lifetime in David's world. Yeah, I mean, this guy must have had so much money. It appears that the police have already tested its contents. No foreign matter present was their conclusion. Is it possible that the police missed the poison? No. Even if they can't identify the poison, they can detect its presence by whatever they said. Compare its presence, samples of the whiskey bought off store shelf so we can eliminate the possibility the whiskey was poisoned. We'll have to find our smoking gun elsewhere. 2 cups, one empty, knocked over, and one mostly empty. Maybe they put something on the cup? I don't know. These look cheap. Did his guests bring them? I've seen them before, in the basement liquor cabinet. Kept these lying around? I knew he re-gifted those crystal glasses I got him. Arcs say there's nothing foreign in the upright one, so it can't have been poisoned. Results are inconclusive on the other cup, however. Looks bone dry. Must have been nothing but fumes left by the time this was considered a crime scene. Just not enough there for them to test. Inconclusive could mean... Inconclusive means inconclusive. That's all. Cheer up and read me the results of the fingerprinting. Father's prints are on both cups, as expected. But there are someone else's on the upright cup. So someone else must have been with him last night. Slow down. All that proves is that someone else touched the cup. Doesn't tell us when they did it. Since we don't know who the prints belong to, is it the musician, probably? Adonai, why don't we know who the prints belong to? Are the prints flagged as unidentified, or... No, there's space for a name, but the field is black. Shit, am I already that late to the action? Detective Reyes. Yeah? There's a second set of prints on the cups. Is there a form you'd like me to sign? Doesn't matter how nicely you ask. Sometimes people just can't answer. You should know that damn well, Madam Counselor. I was afraid you'd say that. I don't understand, Adonai. What does this mean? It means that whomever these prints belong to has very proactive representation. Oh, it's like a bigwig. Those prints belong to a witness, as you've guessed. You're more than welcome to their testimony. I have an idea. Where's my phone? Profiles. No, it's probably under terms. Where was that, that musician? Kaguya. Stage name. Intricately crafted lore. Kaguya's official age. Personal details remain scarce. Named that her stage makeup. I wonder if that's who it was. Because we're looking for a musician right now. And if we don't know their real name, maybe this is the person who was with him the other night. I could see a bigwig pop star having, like, representation like that. But their identity is... The department is being very considerate of the witnesses' privacy, out of respect for their time and appreciation for their cooperation. Fine, forget the name. That easily? Subpoenas are always an option, but I'm short on time. What did the witness have to say for themselves, Detective? To paraphrase, they came to see Dr. Asher last night. The two of them talked, and they had a drink together. Then, the doctor got sick, so they activated the emergency system from the panel in the kitchen. The EMTs came and took them both to the hospital. Asher's condition got worse. All of the witnesses' vitals were normal. The witness had their vitals taken? Then there should be a record of their admission at Gatesfield. And that's it. I'm guessing you didn't take all that on faith. Penumbra is set up in most rooms on this floor. Everything the witness told us was corroborated by the building's own surveillance system. So yes, we can guarantee the witness never put anything in Asher's drink. I'm guessing I can't have the keys to the Penumbra, can I? Not until the witness's lawyers are done reviewing it. Lawyers, plural? I don't have time to trade jabs with the law offices of Johnson, Johnson, Johnson & Johnson. Say, how about I give you their business card? The law offices of Kokler, Gustav, Prince & Prince. I was close. No way I'll be getting any client information out of them directly. If all you bloodsuckers want to get together and tear each other apart, text me before you start. I'd like to watch. Yeah, I bet you like to watch. What? What does that even mean? I don't know. Needed a moment to think. So, that was it. One chat, one peek at the cams, and you've already eliminated them as suspect? Look, they were searched. They didn't have any poison, any drugs, not even a stick of gum. Even if they did somehow have poison on them, the camera footage confirms they had no opportunity to use it. They drank from the same bottle as a dead man, and so as far as the department's concerned, they were nearly the second victim. But they aren't dead, or even ill from the sound of things. So you think he poisoned his own cup beforehand and then poured for both of them from a safe bottle? That's what the evidence is telling us. There's nothing in the bottle or the witness's cup. But after drinking from his cup, a cup he prepared himself, he fell ill and the witness didn't. And Asher died with a foreign substance in his body. An unidentified foreign substance. Suicide by poison. I get that you were close, and simple explanations aren't all that satisfying. That's life. One last thing. You just said he prepared his cup himself. Did you see that on camera? He left the parlor to get the drinks and came back with his already poured. The witness says he got him from the basement. The witness says that, not the cameras. There's no cams in the lab or the basement. That seems like a security hazard. Why would Noble not set things up more carefully? It's intentional. If the cams of his lab ever got hacked, outsiders could steal his IP and kick Noble's monopoly to the curb. Right. David did complain about Noble's weird protocols for combating corporate espionage. At least we can take comfort in knowing that Father wasn't alone when he died. Yeah, that's, worth investigating. Alright, let's do this. One chair knocked over, probably where David was sitting, and one chair pulled out, a party of two. He never cared much for socializing, but he enjoyed hosting. Contradictory guy. It says here that when the medics arrived, he was on the floor, face up. Does that tell you something? Aw, she's mirroring us. Hey, if you were gonna drink a glass of poison, would you be sitting or standing when you did it? I find it very difficult to speculate on that hypothetical scenario. The seat by his body is pulled out. He was seated when he lost consciousness. I would expect to find him slumped over on the table. But he wasn't found slumped over. No, he wasn't. And if he had been standing when he lost consciousness, I would like to think he would have fallen forward, or at least collapsed less neatly. So what can you conclude from that, Adonai? Only that I'm missing something. Seems there's everything critical on this side of the room, which leaves the kitchen. You said there's camera footage of the dining room showing David and his guest. What about in here? Only camera in the kitchen is the one mounted on the call terminal. Well, that's not the right voice. The console took a snap investigation image when the witness ran in to contact emergency services. May I see it? Not unless you scrape the witness's face off the pic first. Don't tempt me. Alright. Kitchen. David's fridge. Normally I wouldn't go poking into the pantry at a crime scene, but this was a poisoning. Some white wines chilling in the drawer, some real cheap liquor stuffed in the icebox. Old habits. Reyes, you said he left the parlor and came back with that whiskey from the basement? Huh? That's what the cameras show, yeah. There's plenty to drink right here, and unlike the cabinet downstairs, it's actually cold. He must have wanted Rose River in particular. There was also a few bottles of the wine that had been disturbed. What's that look for? You hungry? I am an android. I do not get hungry. Are you being sarcastic? Only mostly. I thought you said you required organic nourishment. I do ingest organic substances, but that does not mean that I experience hunger as you do. So when you don't ingest organic substances for a while, I become tired. What a great feature. And when I'm done digesting, I don't need to know. Messy workspace, but a pristine kitchen. David was a good cook, but only for others. Unless he had a guest, he'd happily eat instant ramen and protein bars for all 3 meals. Or 2. Or 1. No signs of food prep to be found. Not so much as a cheese board. So whoever this guest was, they must have shown up unannounced. Three unwashed dishes and a single glass. Reyes, these dishes haven't been scanned for prints yet. And I just assumed you might want to do your job. Yeah, there are prints. Most match the victim. But there's also... Hey! Don't sneak up on me like that. All I did was walk over to you. You knocked over the salt, Adonai. I was focused on the task at hand. Didn't realize tunnel vision was a selling point on your mod. Adonai, the salt! As I was saying, the witness's prints are on that glass. That glass in the sink? They were drinking from cups in the parlor. Did you see a glass on camera? No. So when did they touch this glass? You need to toss it over your shoulder. Aw, girly pop. Witness must have thought about giving the guy some water, but he would have just choked on it if they'd tried. What, you think this glass was the murder weapon? It's bad luck? I don't know. Oh, poor girly. Whacked him on the back of the head so fast it went between the video frames. That's genius! You should go through the footage frame by frame to prove your theory. Mature. It's bad luck. What have you been going on about? The salt? Shouldn't a machine like you shouldn't a machine be above petty superstition? It's not a superstition. It's ancient wisdom. Give me one logical reason to care, then. If too much salt spills on your food, it'll make you gag. Maybe it's on me for setting the bar too low there. Alright, I'm missing something. This thing? This is where the emergency call was made. What time did the call go out? 8:04 p.m. Before you ask, the witness left the parlor at 8:03 p.m. Not enough time for them to alter the scene. I wasn't going to ask that. When did the medics arrive? 8:08 p.m., remember? Hell of a response time for a penthouse. Private EMS came by air? Yeah, they landed on the VTOL pad you saw outside. Took him to Gatesfield. Very best if you can afford it. Looking around here, seems he could afford a lot. He got his insurance through his employer, just like most people. Caduceus's executive plan 4 isn't like most people, counselor. He had executive level? Not like most people at all. You've now had the chance to survey the crime scene. Yeah. So, do you think you know what happened? Fuck no. Detective, is his body still at the hospital morgue? Yeah, he's at Gatesfield, along with a half-hundred noble megs who've all called dibs. Then I'll just have to cut in line. Sarah, get me a ride to Gatesfield Memorial. What? You can do that, can't you? I can. But I need your payment information to get started. Yeah? Okay. Understood. On my way down. Got it. Sync complete. Set pickup for 10 minutes should be plenty. The crowd down there seems to have gotten quite large. 10 minutes to reach a pickup spot may be an ambitious target, Adonai. How bad can it be? Oh boy, dangerous question, Morgan. A dangerous question that we will have to find out the answer to next time. Because that is where we are gonna call it for now. I feel like that's a good pause point. All right, we've got our setup. We've got some cool new characters. Very good stuff. Not quite as good as episode 0 so far. However, I think that's just because, you know, it's a full episode, and whenever you have a mystery like this, you have to set it up, and the investigation is never as fun as the trial, so I think once we hit the trial, things are really gonna pick up. This game is it's so good. It's really, really good. This game's amazing. I could gush about it all I want, but I am very impressed with it so far. Especially for an indie game, like, really great stuff. But, yeah. Thank you for reading. Not everyone does the voice acting. Yeah, no problem. I like doing the different voices. It helps me comprehend things. I think it enhances the viewer experience, because I know not everybody watches streamers like, you're not watching the screen the whole time, so it helps having it read out so you don't miss anything, all that fun stuff. I maybe be doing this next week. I have to figure out what my schedule is next week, but at the very least 2 weeks from now, we will be back on this for Sundays. I'm very excited. I assume we still will probably have, based on how long this took, maybe one more stream of investigating before we get to the trial, but we'll have to see. I don't know exactly how long it plays out. But until then, let's see who our top 3 are really quick. Ba-ba-da-bum-bum-bum. At number 3, we have Keo3290. At number 2, we have Mikey Mike. And at number 1, we have Brian J439. Thank you guys very, very much for coming. Thank you all for watching the stream. I hope that you have a fantastic rest of your weekend and start to your week. And I will see you all next time. Bye-bye.